Welcome Sagittarius, Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au, and October 2016 is a really fantastic month for you, having a new moon on the 1st taking place in your 11th house of friendships. And then we've just seen Jupiter, your ruling planet, moving into this 11th house, which is the sign of Libra. All good stuff, especially if you're looking to make contact with new acquaintances, you're wanting to expand your social circle, you're wanting to do something new in terms of networking. This is all perfectly placed for you this month and ushers in a new cycle indeed. The 11th house, as we see here, is also the fulfillment of some of your long cherished dreams, ideals, objectives and goals. This is considered by some astrologers, if you're more a practical down-to-earth astrologer, the 11th house is the fulfillment of your dreams. So this is an excellent aspect. It has to be balanced against the difficult right angle that we see with Jupiter taking place in your second house of finances. The 11th house, by the way, I didn't mention, is profits from your business. When we look at Mars, which is a very friendly planet generally, transiting in your second house, there's a lot of effort going into earning money, but also the second house relating to speech can show disputes with friends over money. 11th house is also elder siblings. So one needs to be a little bit cautious in the way that matters of finance are discussed. If you're looking at borrowing money, or rather loaning money to people, that is something you need to be a little bit careful of. That's shown by the position of Venus in your 12th house. Venus is the planet of loans, and it's in the 12th house of Scorpio, which is expenses. Now that 12th house happens to be the income sector for your friends, which is how I'm actually coordinating joining the dots here. So disputes that may occur through, I guess, a lack of integrity. You need to carefully think about this. You know, when Mars and Jupiter's your ruler, when they're in a hard aspect, whenever they're in any aspect, they tend to show an over-enthusiasm. But the square aspect, this is the right angle that we see these two planets in, can actually show an impulse and a generosity that is not founded in any sort of rational sort of reasoning. So you need to be careful of that. You need to question people. Yes, there are fantastic opportunities to make friends, but try to set the agenda straight up front by indicating that money is not to be part of that. And that goes for the siblings. The 11th house is elder siblings. If you happen to have elder siblings, they could put the hard word on you to acquire some money. And look, if you can't avoid that, it all needs to be contractualized. It's as simple as that. The new moon is only the first half of the story. The new moon on the 1st is followed up on the 16th by a full moon in your 5th house of Aries, and this is lovely. This brings with it some intense sexual energy to the area of love and relationships. You'll be very amorous, you'll be very emotional about the way you approach your relationships in October, and that's because the moon rules your 8th house. The 8th house is not considered a promising house, but it is the house of sexuality, secrets, and deeper psychological influences. So when that comes to the 5th house, as it will on the 16th, in all its fullness, there's likely to be a connection between love affairs and sexuality. So this is a tactile, intimate sort of aspect that I see taking place after mid-month. That's around the 16th when it takes place. Your ruler, Jupiter, is in wonderful aspect with Mercury, also earlier in the month. Mercury is ruling your relationships while we're on the issue love affairs. For those of you that are in committed relationships, the seventh ruler, or the seventh house, is marriage, long-term relationships. Mercury moves into the sign of Libra and then makes a conjunction on the 7th, and that conjunction takes place on the 11th. This is a very important time when communications take place, when letter writing for the purpose of acquiring new friendships, new business, networking can be best served. That is an aspect of advertising, writing and publishing for those of you that have interest in these areas, especially if we tie this in with the difficult emotional and sexual aspects. Airing your thoughts, writing your thoughts down can serve to equalise some of the pressures that come with relationships, and that takes place leading up to the conjunction of Mercury and Jupiter on the 11th. Disputes are likely around the 14th, with Mercury moving into the right angle of Mars, then the right angle of Pluto, 14, 16, the opposition of Uranus on the 20th. These are all hard aspects. And that fifth house, Uranus, which is the love affairs, shows that some of the amorous feelings you have could turn a little bit sour towards the latter part of the month. Mercury moves into the sign of Scorpio, that 12th house again. It shows you'll be in a more low-key period, or your mind will not want to engage so much with too many people at this time. So it's a good idea for you to maybe get away from everything, take some time out, and just reconnect with that inner part of your nature. The ending transit there is of Mercury to a favourable connection of Neptune in your 4th house of family and domestic affairs. Incidentally, we see the transit of the Sun also moving into that quiet 12th house, taking place on the 23rd. So the latter part of the month should be more low-key. If that's how you're feeling, go with the flow, I say. Use the energies wisely. And until I see you next month, do take time to visit me at astrology.com.au. Please also have a listen to and watch the introductory video that I've done on destiny engineering. I'm talking this up. It's a whole new perspective on looking at your horoscope in terms of remedial measures, in terms of manufacturing what it is you want, and especially with your 11th house new moon now, your desires for success are very, very strong, and we need to plug you into this whole process of how it is you can manifest that. I'm here to help you do that. That's my job. It's been my job for over 35 years. Look forward to your company next month. Take care. Bye-bye for now.